So if you're listening to this tutorial, that means you have completed all required 6 slides to your state Google Slide presentation. This video will teach you how to add animations and transitions, and it will give you a few other ideas if you want to add any additional slides to your presentation. Let's start out with animations. So now that we're finished, let's go back to the title slide. And we want to add some movement to our slide. It's called animations. So we're going to click on something that we'd like to move on our slide. So I'm going to start with my title. I'm going to highlight my title to select it, and then I simply go to Insert. Anytime you want to insert something, you go to the Insert on your toolbar, and you go to Animations. So scroll down until you find Animations. Click to select it, and a little box comes up to the far right corner of your screen, just like it does when we go into Tools and Research. From Animations, we're going to add movement to our title, which is already highlighted. You can see here it says California, and right now Fade In is selected for us. So that's the option. So this is what it looks like if you select Fade In. Just click play and you can view that. Now it's on click, so you have to click to get your title to come up. So we're going to go back and change that. We're going to change it from fade in to let's fly in from the left. And instead of doing on click, because that means you have to click your mouse or hit enter on your keyboard to see the animation, instead we're going to select, use our drop down arrow and select after previous. So it will come in automatically. From there you can either select a fast transition, medium, or slow. Say somewhere in between medium and fast. You don't want to slow down your presentation. And then let's click play to see what that looks like. And now the animation will come in, flying in from the left without having to click. Let's hit stop. And we can go in and add a second animation to this page. Click on something that you'd like to animate, maybe my license plate. And you can see that we already have our title animated. Now we can add an animation to this item. Click animation and select how you want it to be animated. Maybe fly out or let's try zoom in. Again, change it from on click to after previous. Change your speed, adjust it if necessary, and let's hit play to see what this looks like now. You'll see your title comes in first, and then zooming in should be your license plate. Great. So if you have the time, you're going to add 1 or 2 animations to each slide. So if you want to make any changes to this first one up here, you're going to have to delete it first, and then you can go back, highlight it, go back to insert, and add your animation one more time. Alright, let's go to slide 2 and see what that looks like. I'm going to add an animation to my title. So click, I go to insert, and animation. You can see that my title is here and it says fade in. I can select something different and I can do after previous and play. So again, if you don't like that animation, you have to click the little X up here to change it and to add something different. Otherwise it will save it and just layer the animations. So once you've added your animations to every page, we're going to go back to the beginning again, and here is where we're going to add transitions. So you can see if something is selected on your page, you're not going to be able to see the transitions, just like you can't see the background. So I always make sure nothing is selected. I click on the corner of my slide and I make sure nothing is selected. You can see background, layout, themes, and transitions. So now let's go to transitions. Again, you'll see your animations pop up, but we're also going to be looking for transitions from slide to slide. That means how the second slide will be viewed after the first. So let's go ahead and add our first transition. So you should be on your title slide, and you can see right now under the slide it says to fade. It will fade in. You can adjust that to slow, medium, or fast. You can apply it to all slides. I recommend doing a different transition on each slide just for the experience. So let's click play to see what that looks like. You can see the fade in with the slide, and you can see your title and the animation for the license plate. Let's go to slide 2. Make sure nothing is highlighted or selected on your page and go to transitions. You'll see down here below your animations, and now we're going to do the transition from slide 1 to slide 2. You can select no transition, which is fine, or something different. Let's try cube this time. Let's make it a little slower, not too slow, and let's hit play to see what that looks like. And your animations. Hit stop. So go into slide 3, working on our transitions. You can select a different option for slide 3, and let's hit play to see what that looks like. You can see I've already gone in and added an animation to this slide. Stop, and we will do the same thing for slide 4, 5, and 6. Now, when you get to some of these pages that have multiple pictures, you can animate 2 to 3 items on a page if you have time. I wouldn't do too much more than that because it makes it a little too busy and it takes away from your slide presentation. But you can have some fun and make sure every slide, at least 3 to 4 slides, have transitions. Not every slide needs one. So when you're all finished with all your slides and you've added your animations and your transitions and you're finished and you want to do a little extra work, you can always add an extra slide. So I'm going to show you what that might look like. Some of the optional slides students can make are a historical event slide. You can go in and list any historical events that you recorded in your notes, adding pictures, adding maybe videos as long as it's appropriate and ties in with your slideshow. Make sure you have a title and text. Same thing with maybe places you'd love to visit. Tie that into the tourist attractions research many of you did. You can focus on one place you'd like to visit, or you can list multiple places. Add pictures, maybe a video. Have some fun with it. Here's another one that I did. It was based on my state sport, and I did, of course, California, so I focused on the San Francisco Giants. I just did a background picture here and wrote a few sentences on the San Francisco Giants. So those are some options. Some of you even went as far as a Genius Hour where you researched something a little more about your state you wanted to learn. Maybe you learned a little bit more about your state's favorite, most popular food. You can do a slide on anything that you want as long as it ties into your state and that it's appropriate for school. And make sure you only do this optional slide if you have extra time. The required slides are slides 1 through 6. They all need to be completed before you go on to that extra slide. So that concludes our slide presentation. I cannot wait till after spring break when you get to present your slides to the class. Good job.